I want to say from the bottom of my heart, if it was not for this brother tapping on the door on me, on the top of my coffin, because that's where the industry was trying to put me, because I was the only one speaking truth to power at that time. If it wasn't for this brother and Sister Cynthia and McKinney knocking on the lid of my coffin and opening it up for me to come back out to do what I'm doing today, which is the culmination of that body of work, culminating into a book entitled The Psychological Covert War on Hip-Hop. And I want to say this from the outstart, if it wasn't for Black Dot sending that very important message to get me back on the path. Not that I wasn't on the path, but sometimes you can get swallowed up in industry BS, trying to navigate your way through the industry. Like I said, the culture culminated in this work, The Psychological Covert War on Hip-Hop. I just finished a 4-week class, thanks to my good brother Jahi Muhammad. Let's give him a round of applause.
Right.
He opened up the educational center for me to do a 4-week class, a 3-hour class every Wednesday for 4 weeks to actually teach the class on the psychological. It's different than a lecture because you get to interact, you get to go over some things, exchange notes, sit down, quiz one another, go over some YouTube clips or whatever. You get to interact. I think which is a lot better than a lecture. Hopefully we can do that with the brother here at this institution. But I explained to the people from the outstart that the psychological, the way the Western world teaches it, that psychology is the study of the mind, which we all know from knowing and understand this brother's work and all this work that you see here is definitely incorrect. Psychology is the study of the psyche from ancient Kemet. Studying the ancient Kemet way of thinking and paradigm, psyche is the soul. It's not the mind. So when they wage the war via the culture on black people, they wage the war on the soul of black people. And that's where the war is taking place. But since we sold our soul to try to sell our soul for money, a lot of times we don't understand where the war is being waged. Hopefully Black Dot and myself can kind of clear that up. So I need y'all to stand up and help me welcome my good brother, Black Dot.
Peace. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time at the historical Black and Noble spot to speak. I've been here before with Brother Griff, dropping them off, things of that nature. I'm going to be brief, but I'm going to be, give Griff some time to get his bearings and get himself together. First and foremost, I want to thank Brother Taj. Marie, give him another hand. What he teaches is so profound, and a lot of people, it's like he's from another tomorrow. And what I mean by that is when we get our ish together, already in place will be how we gonna take what's rightfully ours back.
That's right.
So it seems like he's teaching something that a lot of people can't comprehend. He's laying the foundation and the seed work so that when we do come out of the stupor, and we'll know the proper channels on how to take back what's ours.
Exactly.
Now you get a lot of brothers, they learn a little something and they running up in them courts and they don't have the foundation of what it is they learn. They have to really understand it. That's why I said, in what person you coming in, you better know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So it's my job, after sitting here and listening to the brother, I've heard him many times before, but in his presence, I think this is the first time I really sat down and ingested what the brother teaches, is to make that information palatable to a hip-hop generation. That's what brought about me sitting in many lectures, hundreds of lectures, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, you name them, C. Freeman, all the way down the list. And I was the youngest one in the crowd, and I kept saying, okay, this is great, but how do I get my young brothers on the corner to understand how to apply this information? All right, so I came up with hip-hop decoding, which is just studying what the masters teach and making it palatable for my hip-hop, because I don't care what you teaching. If you're not teaching it properly, you might as well be Snoop, wah, 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 you might as well be teaching a foreign language. So hip-hop decoding came about because of that. I said, I gotta put something down where these young brothers can at least understanding. I'm the black dot. I'm just a point of reference. I'm just trying to get you to a point where you can take that leap and study further on your own. Because at the end of the day, you got to pick that ball up and you got to run with it. So Brother Todd's is laying down a foundation. Don't sit around and wait for him to move you forward. You got to put that work in. You got to understand what's going on. So that's going to be a challenge for me, I will admit, because you're dealing with law and things of that nature. But one thing I'm good at is transferring information. Okay. So I'm going to make that a personal project of mine to convey that to where brothers on the corner can understand the law. Because who getting attacked? Brothers on the corner.
That's right, target.
Those are the ones who are the initial targets, and all they do, they get up on the wall, but they need to understand. But that doesn't mean be arguing with them devils. Be confrontational with them devils. All right? Just because you know something, you have to wait until the proper time to apply what it is that you know. So I even tell young people that I deal with, we talk with our hands. That's just how we do. Now, if you understand that, then it's not threatening. But if you are already nervous and I come in like this, you're going to see me on YouTube, on the floor, laid out. All right? So I'm working on a book called A Parents, Teachers, and Mentors Guide to Understanding Urban Culture. So a lot of our teachers can understand, this is just how we do it. We talk with our hands. We want to beat on the table a little bit. Maybe if you taught them lessons rhythmically, young people would get it. Maybe if you let the young man draw out his homework, he would excel. But when you have us sitting in them linear classrooms with fluorescent lightings, with a boring teacher who don't care for you, that's why our young people shut down. Yeah. I know every single teacher that really cared for me, because they put you under pressure. You wanted to get the homework done because you was letting them down. And I know the teachers that was just there for a paycheck. You see what I'm saying? So we have to begin to understand that this hip-hop culture has created a culture or subculture, whatever you want to call it, a movement amongst itself that has the minds of our youth. They operate within this paradigm, whether you like it or not. They hip-hop all day, every day. So instead of trying to go against the grain, let's lay some things down where they, along their hip-hop swagger and all that, they can pick up the jewels they need so that they can progress within the hip-hop culture. Because as I'm going to talk, from 79 to now, we're supposed to be making great strides within hip-hop. But there's a counterforce at work that won't allow us to get what we get. Quick plug, I just put out an album, first album in 20 years for me, 18 years. It's on the wall, it's called Walk With Me. And it is because I got tired of doing these lectures, and then people would ask me, well, do you still MC? Because I can give a breakdown of something, but if you've never been a part of it, your information don't hold enough weight. So brother can come in here and tell you about gang violence all day, but if he's never been in the gang, there's a certain element of the gang violence that he can't never teach you, because he was never in the gang. So when I speak about hip-hop, I speak about it from a level of an artist first and foremost. First album came out in 1988, all right? The next album came out in 1993. But I put it down, I fell out of love with her. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw the multiple changes she was going through, and I didn't want to be a part of that. I got tired of taking my demo to these record labels who knew nothing about our culture, and they're telling me, we want gangster rap now. We want the next, Snoop and Ice Cube. And I didn't want to remove myself from my foundation. I come from Cedar Park. That's where Kool Herc and them started hip-hop. All right, so I'm that little 7, 8-year-old kid at the front of the ropes bearing witness to that. I can never transfer that into gangster rap or something that wasn't real. Now, for those who are real gangsters, I get it.
If you don't understand this, nothing that we talk about will ever mean anything else to you in this society. Are you following me? This is a particular dynamic that we have to deal with. I'm not going to run it down because I think she explained it better than I ever could. Now, I'm going to start at the top of what I was experiencing that time, coming from the information that Steve Coakley gave me, right on up to the time his brother knocked on the top of the coffin. We was dealing with mass control, engineering human consciousness. Now people are talking about I'm conscious, but what is consciousness? Are you following me? We have to understand what is consciousness. And I don't need to stand up here and say it's not something that you dress up in. But young shorties do not understand what consciousness is. And it takes us to explain it to them. You see, we may know the 40, 50 people that are here, the people watching this on YouTube, they may know. Are you following me? But the shorties, it needs to be explained to them. If you claim that you are conscious, your behavior patterns should reflect your consciousness. Are you following me? I don't mind, and I've always said this. We don't care if you're bald-headed, you got locks, however you dress, what you smoking, what you sipping on that night, all that is fine. If that's your degree of consciousness, that is cool with me. But at the end of the day, as Sister Soldier said, we're at war. When you enter into the battlefield, your sword has to be sharpened already. It's no more, hold on, let me press the pause button and go get ready. No. It's on already. Are you following me? We have to understand that. These people are manufacturing consciousness. And we have to understand that. So when you start to see the YouTube scholars coming up, setting these roadblocks in the way of this brother's work and this brother's work and what this brother here is doing in the store, know and understand that may serve as a distraction. I believe we can use it as a tool to educate and elevate our people. But what do you think the people that manufactured and put Facebook together, what do you think they're thinking? You don't think they've seen this time? They tapped into my Facebook and put my real name up there. Now chicks are calling, now I speak to Kavan. I'm like, chill with that. GRIFF is fine, damn. I tried to shut the page down and discovered you can't. Did you read the fine print? So guess what I did? I went in and found out some information about Facebook that I think I might want to share with y'all. Check it out.
Have you thought about the privacy you put at risk? The Facebook allows users to post their favorite music, books, movies, their address, hometown, phone number, email, clubs, jobs, educational history, birth dates, sexual orientation, interests, daily schedules, exactly how they are related to friends, upload pictures of themselves, and even political affiliations. Its privacy policy even goes so far as to state it also collects information about you from other sources, such as newspapers and instant messaging services. This information is gathered regardless of your use of the website. Think that's scary? The Facebook's term of service state, by posting member content to any part of the website, you automatically grant, and you represent and warrant that you have the right to grant to Facebook an irrevocable, perpetual, non-exclusive, transferable, fully paid, worldwide license with the right to sub-license to use, copy, perform, display, reformat, translate, excerpt in whole or in part, and distribute such information and content, and to prepare derivative works of, or incorporate into other works such information and content, and to grant and authorize sub-licenses of the foregoing. Have you seen the Facebook's Pulse feature? Pulse provides statistical trends among universities down to minute details such as percentages of females with conservative views, the student body's top 10 movies, and percentage of students who have read Catcher in the Rye. The so-called privacy policy goes on to say that they may share your information with third parties, including responsible companies with which they have a relationship. Can you think of any marketing group who would pass up buying such valid yet easily collected statistics such as these and others? So maybe they're using us. But is there more? The first venture capital money totaled at $500,000 came to the Facebook from venture capitalist Peter Thiel, founder and former CEO of PayPal. He also serves on the board of radical conservative group Vanguard PAC. Further funding came in the form of $12.7 million from venture capital firm Excel Partners. Excel's manager, James Breyer, was former chair of the National Venture Capital Association. Breyer served on National Venture Capital Association's board with Gilman Louie, CEO of In-Q-Tel, a venture capital firm established by the Central Intelligence Agency in 1999. This firm works in various aspects of information technology and intelligence, including most notably, nurturing data mining technologies. Breyer has also served on the board of BBN Technologies, a research and development firm known for spearheading the ARPANET, or what we know today as the Internet. In October of 2004, Dr. Anita Jones climbed on board BBN along with Gilman Louie. But what is most interesting is Dr. Jones' experience prior to joining BBN. Jones herself served on the board of directors for In-Q-Tel and was previously the Director of Defense Research and Engineering for the U.S. Department of Defense. Her responsibilities included serving as an advisor to the Secretary of Defense and overseeing the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. This goes farther than just the initial appearances. DARPA shot to national fame in 2002 when knowledge of the existence of the Information Awareness Office came to light. The IAO stated its mission was to gather as much information as possible about everyone in a centralized location for easy perusal by the United States government, including though not limited to internet activity, credit card purchase history, airline ticket purchases, car rentals, medical records, educational transcripts, driver's licenses, utility bills, tax returns, and any other available data. All of the above raises more questions than answers. Perhaps if the Facebook wishes to stay ethically sane, it should enact a policy. What happens in the Facebook stays in the Facebook.